Hi everyone, this is the week 5 AMS math quiz. So yeah, let's start. So which function is 1-to-1? We know that 1-to-1 has to pass the horizontal line test. So you're just going to draw a horizontal line. Does it meet another point on that same line? This one, yes. So it's not a 1-to-1. This one, if you draw from here, it's not 1-to-1. This one, it's, oh, by the way, guys, they could trick us in the exam and put for you one that isn't even a function. So you first have to check if it's a function by doing vertical line test. And if you want to check if it's 1-to-1, do the horizontal line test. So this one is a function, and if you do horizontal line test, it's gonna be 1-to-1. This one is a function, and with the horizontal line test, it is not 1-to-1. This is a function with horizontal line test, not 1-to-1. This is 1-to-1 and the function. So next question. So, okay, which of the following functions is even? We know that in an even function, you have to have, when you put the x as positive or the x as negative, your answer is gonna be the same. So, positive x is equal to negative x. Let's check now. X, the function is 1. Here you cannot change it, there is no x. So anytime you just see a put number without any x or variables, it is even immediately. So no, this one's right. For this one, I like to put and try a number in. So let's do 1 minus 1. It gives you 0. But if you put negative 1 minus 1, it's gonna give you negative 2. So negative 2 is definitely not the same as 0, so this is not even, it's not even odd, it's nothing, practically, it's not even nor odd. Here, it's even. Why? Because and whatever you put between absolute values becomes positive. So if you put 1, it's gonna stay 1 minus 1, which gives you 0. If you put negative 1 in here, it's gonna turn into 1, which 1 minus 1, again, 0. So once you see an x alone inside absolute values, immediately a function. So now next question. This one, it's not a function, it's not even. Why is it not even? Anytime you see an x with an odd exponent, if it has an odd exponent, it's immediately wrong. Because odd exponents, when you put a negative, it could stay negative. Like negative 3 to the power of 3 is negative 27, but 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So they're odd, but not even. Here you're gonna say, oh, but it's an even exponent, why isn't it right? So here you're gonna first have to solve whatever is in brackets, then square it. So let's try. 1 minus, actually let's do another different number. 2 minus 1 gives you 1, and square that, you get 1. But let's try negative 2 minus 1 gives you negative 3, which when you square it, it's gonna give you positive 9. Okay, it's positive, but is it the same as 1? No, so you can't choose it. If you're ever unsure about something, just put a number in its place and see if it would work. This one is a function because the square is directly only for the x. If your square is only for your x, it's like an absolute value. It's gonna make whatever is here positive. So it doesn't matter, so you're gonna get the same answer either way. So this one is correct. Next question. Now here they're asking which of the following is odd. So odd is when you have your negative x equaling the negative function of your positive x. So here's how you write it correctly. So the function of negative x is equal to the negative function. When you have both answers opposite, so if you have your answer as negative 1 and 1, then this is odd. So let's see. 1, no, because like I said, if you don't have an x, it's immediately even. So definitely not. X minus 1. If you put a 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. They have opposite signs, but they're not opposite numbers. They're not the same number. So no. They have to be the same number and opposite. X squared minus 1, we said anytime you see an x directly with a square, this is even. So no. Here, try it with numbers. Let's put 2. 2 minus 2 squared, 2 cubed, which is 8, equals negative 6. Let's try it with negative numbers. Negative 2, this is gonna stay negative 8, but since there's a plus, like negative, so minus, and minus 2 cubed is negative 8. So negative 2 plus 8 equals 6. Oops. So see, 6 and negative 6 are the same number yet opposite signs, which makes it correct. Here the same. Let's put 1. 1 times 1 gives you 1. Negative 1 times 1 gives you, this is times, negative 1 times 1 gives you negative 1. Same number, different sign, so correct. Here, you can't say it's even or odd. It's none. Because if you put 1 here, 1 minus 1, actually let's try 2 to make it like better example. 2 minus 1 gives you 1. Negative 2 minus 1 gives you absolute value negative 3, which becomes 3. So 1 and 3, they have the same sign and they're different numbers. So this is definitely wrong. So now, next question. Okay, so f of x is this and g of x is this. They want f rho g and negative 2. So when you see anything like this, they want you to do this function first, then this function. Whatever you get the answer to this function, you put it in this function. I probably said the word function too many times, but you're gonna understand when I start explaining. So you need to replace the x in this function with negative 2, because that's what they want. So negative 2 all squared minus 1. So negative 2 squared is 4 minus 1 gives you 3. And now this answer, which is 3, so now you could write f of 3, right? So now you need to do f of 3, which means every time you see the number, whatever time you see x in here, you put a 3. So 2 into 3 minus 3, so this is 6 minus 3, which gives you 3. And that's your answer. Next question. Again, so they want g rho f, which means the same as the thing you saw before. You do the exact same thing. So you need to first do f of x. Whatever answer you get from f of x, you put it into g. So let's do f of x. F of x just means whatever value you have in f of x, whatever value is here, replace it every time you see an x. So you're gonna do 4 into 2x plus 10 and plus 1. So let's distribute the 4. 8 x plus 40 plus 1 gives you 8x plus 40 plus 1 is 41. So that's how you get your answer. And now, which is one-to-one function? So one-to-one, like we said, do the horizontal line test and make sure it's a function first. This isn't even a function. This isn't even a function. This isn't even a function. So these are the only two that are your functions, and if you do horizontal line test, you're gonna find that each point is only one on each horizontal line. So these two are correct. Okay, next question. Okay, so for this question, it's really easy. So they want you to make this many-to-one function only one-to-one. So here's what you're gonna do. If it's a going down slope or whatever type of slope, if it's going down, you find the lowest point on your slope, which is here. And you see what number is it touching. So here in our case, we have the number 6. So it means that if you cut this part, you make it one-to-one, or if you cut, yeah, that's better. Or that if you cut this part, you make this one-to-one. So your number x, k, no, sorry, k. It has to be at 6, because you can either cut the left or right, that's your choice. But to make it one-to-one, it has to either be bigger than 6 or less than 6. It can't be anything else. So yeah, this question is pretty straightforward. To make it one-to-one, we know that we need only one point on each horizontal line. So you see that here you have 2 points, so you could either remove Q or U, whatever you want. Whatever one you remove, it's gonna make it a one-to-one function. So when defined over the set of real numbers, the function f given by this is not one-to-one. If the domain f, you will need to restrict it. So which interval? Okay, so for this one is really easy. Some people are gonna see it's hard, but it's really easy. You just need to see one thing. There's a rule that tells you whatever number is here is your answer. That's it. Literally, look, whatever number is here, if here it's plus, make it negative. It's like, no, actually, no, never mind. Whatever number is here, just take it as the number without the sign. Without the sign, just take the number 2. 2 is your answer. That's it. So given f x is what, okay, so they need f row, g row f and 0. So we need to get f and put 0 every time you see an x. So this is just gonna be 5 into 0 plus 3. So we know 5 times 0 is 0, and plus 3 gives you 3. Okay, now you take this 3 and you put it in this equation. So 3 squared plus 1. So 9 plus 1. So that's how you solve it. It's 10. Now, next question. So again, f rho g, the same thing, but now they want the domain. Like they're telling you that the domain is the set of all real numbers other than one number. So first you have to solve this and find what number can the answer not be. So you have to first solve it. So it's f rho g. So you put this every time you see an x in here. So it's 2 into 2x plus 1. This is supposed to be an x. Plus 1. No, wait, sorry, it's 2x plus... Oh, no, sorry, guys, I made a mistake. So, yeah, it's 2x minus 96 plus 1. Because you're substituting this into every time you see x over 2x minus 96 plus 4. Let's solve the top first. So you're gonna do 2 times 2, which is 4x, minus 96 times 2, which is 192, and plus 1, which I'm just gonna immediately rewrite it as 4x minus 191. Here you have a minus. Over 2x minus 92, because negative 96 plus 4 is 92. T2. So now you need to find, so this is your answer now. So now you need to see whatever value makes this 0. So you're gonna do 2x equals 92. So 92 divided by 2 gives you, so it's like 2x cannot be 92. So x cannot be 46. So that's how you get your answer for this question. Okay, so f rho g of x. So like I said again, you replace this every time you see an x into this. It's always second into first. So 4 into 10x plus 3 plus 1. So 40x plus 12 plus 1. So it's 40x plus 13. You get it from adding 12 and 1. Okay, so next question. Okay, so now they want f rho g to 1. There's a lot of these questions here in this quiz. So g, you have to put 1 here plus 3. So it's 4. Now 2 times 4. It's supposed to be a bracket. Squared minus 5. So 2 times 16. Minus 5. 32. Minus 5 equals to 27. So that's how you get this answer. And now next question. Okay, so they're telling you let f of x be this and this is g of x, which is not in the domain of f rho g. So again, we have to do 5 over 3x minus 5 minus 7. So it's 5 over 3x minus 12. So if you multiply here by 4, this answer is going to be 0. So you cannot have it as 0. So 4 is your answer. Okay, so now here you have a simple, here you have events. This is the IGE material, IGCSE math. So you need to pick a whole number you're gonna pick whole numbers from 1 to 100. So what's the probability that you pick a multiple of 30? So you know that your multiples of 30 are 0, but since this is from 1, you don't put 0. So 30, 60, which is just 1 times 30, 30, 2 times 30, 60, 3 times 30 is 90, and now you could do 4 times 30, but then you'd get 120, and you know that it's still 100. So these are the 3 values that you could pick that would be multiples of 30. So since you have only 3, you have 100 values. So you get only a 3 out of 100, which will be 0.03 when you make it into decimals. So yeah, that's it for this question. And now next question. Okay, so for this question you have to draw something. It's called the space of outcomes. I forgot what it's called for a second. So here they're telling you you have 2 die, like dice, like the thing you roll that has 6 faces, and then they're telling you if you roll them, list any of the outcomes. So for this question, I advise you really quickly to draw this on your scratch paper. So you have die 1 and die 2. You could get on die 1, you could get either 1 to 6, and on die 2 you could also get either 1 to 6. So you just draw them in a table like this and add this value and this value, then this value and this value, and just keep going with it, adding each value to the one beside it. Or once you start it, you just know that it's, if they're both the same values, just keep adding 1 until you reach each time. So 2, 3, 4, 5, you get what I mean? And then when you're done, count how many 2's do you have and put it in this type of graph. So you have 1 2, 2 3's, 3 4's, and go on, moving on. So now let's see. What is the value of what? Oh yeah, so how many times is your value gonna be? X, like it's gonna be 4, only 4. So you look here, you know that 4 only appears 3 times. And here you have 36 values because you're gonna do 6 times 6 and find out how many values you have total. So if it's gonna come only 3 times, so it's 3 over 36, right? Which when you simplify it is gonna become 1 over 12. Now how many times is your value P, like how many times is it your possibility bigger than 4? So you're supposed to add all of this over 100, over 36, but my advice is don't add all of this, just subtract 36 from whatever is here. So you do 36 minus 6, because 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. You get 30 over 36. Simplify it, you get 5 over 6. Okay, so that's your answer for this question. Now you're rolling 2 biased dice, like they're not even, so you can't possibly get the same outcomes, like they're cheating dice. So the possibility of obtaining the sum 12 is 1 over 36, and the possibility of obtaining a sum of 11 is 2 over 36. So what's the value of obtaining a sum 10 or less? Like I said, 10 or less, you're supposed to add all the values. But since this is, first of all, biased, and second of all, you already have the 12 and the 11. So if you just add them, you're going to get 3. So 36 minus 3 is 33 over 36. Here they want the denominator to be 12. So you divide by 3 on both up and down. So see, 33 over 36. Divide by 3, divide by 3, you're gonna get 11 over 12. And that's your answer. And I think now we can go on to geometry. Yep. So this question may look tricky, but actually it's really easy. So they want BAC. We know they want BAC, which is this angle. This is what they want. This is your X. So now you're gonna say they didn't give us enough given. They did. You know that any line crossing through the point, any line touching both sides of the circle, passing through the midpoint of the circle, is called a diameter. And you know that any angle of a semicircle, like any angle that cuts a diameter, is equal to 90. So they told you already that this angle is 90. They didn't give it to you written in words, but you could see it from the figure. And we know that if this is 90, then all this is gonna be 180, right? So if all of this is 180, and you know that this angle is 56, so I'm just gonna change the color for reference. So you know that this angle, which is facing the 56, is gonna be 56 times 2, which is 112 here. And you know that the whole circle has to be 360. So you have to do 180 plus 112 minus that from 360. So I'm just gonna quickly do that on my calculator because we don't have time, but we do in the exam. So it's 180 plus 112 minus 360, you get 68. So now you know that this little part here is 68. And this angle here, x, is facing it. So x has to be half of 68. So, and half of 68 is 34. So your answer, it is 34. Perfect. So now next question. Okay, so here we could see that you have this angle given, and it's 74. And we could see that you have this angle that you need to find. We know that this angle here, since it's a tangent and a secant, you know that this equals half of this angle. And this also equals half of this angle. And we know that two angles intercepting the same arc are equal. So you know that x is also 74 because of the law, or like the theorem. So any two angles intercepting same arc, which is arc HG, are equal. Okay, so now here, this question. So this question, they told you have an isosceles triangle. So, and you know a triangle has to equal to 180. So 50 plus, these two have to be equal. So let's label these y plus 2y equals 180. So you know that y, you could find it easily, equals 65. And again, so here you have a 65, and here you have a 65. If this is 65, and it's intercepting this angle, right? X is intercepting arc MB. So, and 65 is also intercepting arc MB. So again, two angles intercepting the same arc are equal. So x is equal to whatever is here, so it's 65 degrees. So yeah. Okay, so this question, you have to use the law. You know that the angle here is equal to half the sum of these two. So 70 equals half, since these are intersecting inside the circle. If these two secants were intersecting outside the circle, it's a different rule. Okay, so 50 plus x, x. So now you do 70 times 2, which is 140, equals 50 plus x. So you can know that x is easily 90. So that's it for this question. Now a few more questions left and we're done. So, okay, so this question is a bit tricky, but it's pretty easy once you get the idea. So here they're asking you for angle ADB. So this here is the angle you need to find. Okay, so we could see that this is a cyclic quadrilateral in here, because you have a quadrilateral which each point is touching a point on the circle. So now you see that C is opposite to D. So if we find angle C and minus it from 180, you could find angle D. So since this is 104, we know that this is half of it, like just half of it. So you need to do 104 divided by 2, you get 52. So you know that this here is 52. Since this is cyclic and opposite to this, 180 minus 52 gives you your answer 128. So that's how you solve this one. Now next question. Here is what I told you about when you have it intersecting outside. So you know here that x equals half of far angle minus close angle. So 100 minus 46. So once you just solve it normally, you're gonna get that your answer is 27 is 106. Yeah, sorry. So 106 minus 46. So here it's equal to 60, and half of 60 is 30. So yeah, that's done for this question. Now next question. Okay, so this question is easy also. We already said that whole circle is equal to 360. So if this is 132 and this is 152, this is whatever is left of the circle. So you have to add 152 plus 132. Okay, so let's do that. 152 minus, plus 132. You're gonna get it to equal 284. So 284, now do that, subtract it from 360. So I already did that aside, so 360 minus 284 is 76. And you know that this is half of the intercepted arc. No, actually it's not, wait. I did something wrong. So you know that this is equal half 152 minus this. But 152, so 76 is here. So x equals half 152 minus 76, and that's equal to 76. Half of it is 38. So that's how you get this question answer. And now I think, okay, this is the second to last question. Wait, yeah. So this question is really easy. You just need to find this angle, and this would be half of this. And so to find this angle, you could see it's on a linear pair. 180 minus 110 gives you 70 here. If this is 70, this is double 70, which is 140. Okay, so last question is a bit tricky. but it's really easy to find out once you understand it. So we already said that this angle is equal half this minus this, but they didn't give you any of them. So you're gonna say, okay, how am I supposed to find that? Okay, so it's easy. Half x minus. So what can you tell from the picture? That this is part of 360 and this is whatever is left of 360, right? So it's x minus 360 so this is just practically whatever is left of x, or the 360 I mean. So see, this is just 360 minus x. It's gonna give you this. So first you're gonna multiply it by the half, so it's 92 equals x, distribute the minus 360 plus x, because you're distributing the negative sign. See, you put it in here, then in here. So x plus x gives you 2x. You move the 360 to this side, and you quickly do on your paper 360 plus 92, you're gonna get 452. And so x equals half of this, which is 226. And yeah, we're done for the week 5 math quiz. Bye.